I took off my headphones and switched off my computer. I needed a break, and I needed something to eat. I headed out of my room and was about to go downstairs to the kitchen when I heard some giggling coming from my sister's room. I smiled to myself. This is going to be fun. Without knocking, I barged straight into my sister's room. Her friends all stopped talking and looked at me in surprise.
What do you want, Jason?
Oh, I just thought I'd have a little chat with you and your friends. I could tell my sister was suspicious.
What do you want to chat about?
Oh, I just thought that your friend Mark might like to know something. My sister's face started turning bright red.
Get out of here, Jason. I mean it.
Oh, don't worry, I will. But first, did you know Laura has a crush on you, Mark? Mark began looking really uncomfortable. Really, it's true. She's always talking about you, aren't you, Laura? Laura started screaming at me.
I hate you, Jason. Get out of here, or I'm going to tell Mom.
Okay, I'll leave you two lovebirds alone. I walked out of the room. I could hear Laura slamming the door behind me, but I just laughed to myself. It was so funny embarrassing my younger sister. If you're surprised by this, you're not going to believe what I tell you at the end of this video. I went downstairs to the kitchen and made myself a sandwich. I suppose I should have felt a bit sorry for being mean to Laura, but that's what older brothers do to their sisters, isn't it? I had played pranks on Laura for as long as I could remember. One time I balanced a bucket of water on the top of her bedroom door. It was so funny. I waited outside my room for her to come out. You should have seen the look on her face when the water came pouring down over her head. She was soaked from head to toe.
Jason, you're so mean. I've spent ages getting ready for this party, and now look at me.
I just laughed. You have to admit, it is funny. Laura just stormed back into her room and slammed the door behind her. Laura was such an easy target. It was too hard to resist pranking her. One of the worst things I did to her was when it was her best friend Julia's birthday. She was having a big party, and she told me to tell Laura to be at her house at 8 o'clock and to wear her best dress. Now, you're probably thinking that I didn't tell Laura about the party. But no, that would have been too easy. Instead, I told Laura that the party was fancy dress and everyone had to dress up in an animal costume. When Laura arrived at Julia's house, the party was in full swing. As she walked into the room dressed as a big brown bear, everyone stopped and stared at her. Then the whole room broke out into laughter.
Laura, why are you dressed as a bear? It's a fancy dress party, isn't it? No, of course it isn't. Didn't Jason tell you I said to wear your best dress?
Laura's face fell in dismay.
No, he didn't.
When she got home, she was furious with me.
You ruined my night. Everyone was laughing at me. How am I ever gonna live this down?
I just giggled to myself. It was so much fun playing tricks on Laura. It was a couple of weeks after the night I had told Mark that Laura had a crush on him, and I was walking along the school corridor trying to think of something else that I could prank Laura with. Suddenly, as I turned the corner, I spotted a beautiful girl walking towards me. My heart literally leapt out of my chest. I'd never seen anyone so gorgeous in all of my life. I had never believed in love at first sight before, but when I saw her, I knew she was the one for me. Even though my heart was beating like mad and my stomach was full of butterflies, I knew that I couldn't let the opportunity go. So, I took a deep breath and walked over to her. Hi there, I'm Jason.
Hi.
You're new here, aren't you? I haven't seen you around before.
Yes, it's my first day today.
What's your name?
Katie.
Well, Katie, I'd be happy to show you around. That's if you'd like me to. I waited for what seemed like an eternity. Then she gave me a cute little smile.
Sure, that would be great. Thank you.
So I spent the rest of the day introducing Katie to everyone and showing her where each classroom was and where to go for lunch. At the end of the day, when the school bell rang, I went to say goodbye to her.
Thank you for showing me around today. You made my first day here really easy. I guess I'll see you tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. And,
Yes?
Well, we could also hang out outside of school if you want to.
Are you asking me out on a date?
Well, yes, I guess I am. She laughed at my nervousness.
I would love to go on a date with you.
My heart started soaring and my head nearly exploded. I couldn't believe she had said yes. As I walked home from school, I couldn't help but have a beaming smile on my face. We arranged to go out on that Friday night for a pizza, but when Friday came, I was a nervous wreck. I stood in front of the mirror in my bedroom trying on outfit after outfit. I had no idea what to wear. I didn't want to go looking like a dork. I had to make a good impression. I just couldn't make my mind up, so in the end, I asked Laura to help me. Laura!
What?
Come here.
What for?
I need your help.
You're not going to prank me again, are you?
No, honestly.
Are you sure?
Yes, I promise. For a split second, the thought did enter my head that it would have been really funny if I had set up something to prank Laura with. But then again, she probably wouldn't have helped me if I had done that.
Okay, what is it?
You have to help me decide what to wear. Laura looked at me in shock.
What? You want my advice?
Yes, I have a date tonight and I really want to impress this girl. I just can't decide what to wear. I thought for a minute that Laura would be annoyed and not want to help me. But to my surprise, she was really nice.
You should definitely wear the blue shirt. It matches the color of your eyes and makes you look really handsome.
Thank you, Laura. That's a lovely thing to say.
You're welcome.
Laura left my room and I finished getting ready. The date with Katie couldn't have gone any better. We never stopped laughing and chatting. It was so easy with her. It was like I had known her forever. At the end of the night, I walked her home. This was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yes, I had a really good time.
Listen, the new Spider-Man movie is on at the cinema. Do you fancy going to see it tomorrow?
Sure, that sounds great.
I'll come pick you up at about 6 o'clock.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
As I walked home from Katie's house, I had never felt happier. I wanted to run and shout and tell everyone how much I was in love with her. But instead, I just walked along with a stupid grin on my face. When I got home, Laura was waiting for me.
How did the date go?
It was brilliant. Thank you so much for helping me decide what to wear.
Are you going to see her again?
Yes, I am taking her to the movies tomorrow night.
Wow, you must be keen.
I am. She's the most amazing girl I've ever met.
I'm happy for you, Jason.
Thank you, Laura. The next day seemed to drag by so slowly. I couldn't take my eyes off the clock. I thought that 6 o'clock would never come around, but eventually it did. I knocked on Katie's door and she opened it with a big smile.
Hi, Jason.
Wow, Katie, you look stunning.
Thank you. You look good too.
We got to the movies, bought some popcorn, and took our seats. The movie began and we settled down to watch it. About halfway through, I decided to take my chance. I lifted my arm, put it around Katie's shoulder, and pulled her into a hug. She leaned her head on my shoulder, but then all of a sudden, she pushed me away.
Ew! What is that smell? You stink.
I was so shocked. I lifted my arm and smelled my armpit. Oh my God, it's true. I smell terrible. I was mortified. I couldn't believe it. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Katie. This has never happened to me before. I must have been in a rush and forgot to use my deodorant. I promise, it will never happen again.
It's okay.
But even though Katie was nice about it, the whole evening was ruined. I couldn't go anywhere near her because I knew she would be feeling sick from the smell of me. I thought that she would never want to see me again. But thankfully, she agreed to another date. Before the date, I made sure I had a really long shower. I used tons of soap. There was no way I was going to risk a repeat performance of our last date. As I walked up to Katie's house, I felt confident that nothing could spoil our date. Oh, how wrong I was. The minute Katie opened the door, her face fell and she screwed up her nose.
Oh my God. Jason, you stink again. In fact, you smell even worse than on our last date.
I was so confused, but I took an hour-long shower. I used loads of soap. I have no idea how I can be so smelly.
I'm sorry. I think we had better postpone this date.
Okay, I understand. It won't happen again, I promise. But unfortunately, it did. It didn't matter how much I showered or how much soap I used. I couldn't stop my terrible BO. I tried hundreds of different products, but none of them worked. Eventually, it all became too much for Katie.
I'm sorry, Jason. I don't think we can date anymore. Not if you can't get your body odor under control.
It's okay, I understand. I was distraught, but I couldn't blame Katie. In fact, I totally understood where she was coming from. Even I couldn't stand the smell of me. It was disgusting. I'd never smelled anything so bad in my life. That night, I lay in bed fretting over my BO problem. What am I going to do about it? This is ruining my life. Suddenly, a noise broke me from my thoughts. What's that? Is it a burglar? I crept out of my room and into the hallway. There's someone in the bathroom. I crept slowly and quietly towards the bathroom door. There was definitely someone in there. I pushed open the door, expecting to see a burglar trying to climb through the window or something. But to my shock, it was only Laura. Laura, what are you doing in here in the middle of the night? That's when I noticed the guilty look on her face. I noticed that she was holding something behind her back. Laura, what have you got in your hand?
Nothing.
Show me.
No.
I mean it, Laura. Show me what you got in your hand. Slowly, she took her hand from behind her back and showed me the bottle she was holding. What is that? She hesitated for a minute.
It's skunk spray.
It's what? She started laughing.
I've been putting skunk spray on your soap. The more you wash, the smellier you become.
I was furious. I couldn't believe what she had done to me. So that's why soap didn't work on me? You ruined my life. I was so angry with her. I started screaming and lunged at her. The next thing I knew, we were rolling around on the bathroom floor screaming at each other. I hate you. You ruined my chance with Katie.
Well, it serves you right. You have pulled so many pranks on me over the years. Now I have got you back.
You're gonna regret this, I promise you. Suddenly, the bathroom door opened and my mom walked in.
That's enough, you two. What on earth is going on?
It's her. She ruined my date with Katie.
Well, he deserves it. He is always playing pranks on me. He told Mark that I secretly had a crush on him. I was so embarrassed. Come on now. You two are brother and sister. You shouldn't be mean to each other. Now I want you both to make up.
I looked at Laura. Truce?
Truce. That's better. Now get back to bed. Both of you. It's late. Sorry, Jason.
Sorry, Laura. I went back to my room and lay on my bed. If she thinks she's going to get away with this, she is wrong. I need to come up with the biggest prank to get my revenge. Any ideas? Comment them down below.